Hey guys, my dad asked me if I could build him a couch for his balcony. I didn't have much timber lying around, so I went out and I found some used transport pallets. I made some really detailed design suggestions for my dad and he chose this one. Now the pallets was free, so I only spent money on the surface treatment, which was a half a can of oil, a bit of glue and some screws. Roughly around 10-12 bucks.
Here's how it turned out. But I do have a small surprise for the old fellas. Do you guys remember an old kids TV program with two old guys sitting on a balcony? You probably don't remember who Statler and Waldorf are, but here's a picture that will certainly help your memory. I really hope they like the surprise.
But let's start building.
In this build I'm using pine from old transport pallets, but you can easily use cedar or any other wood. The raw timber is about 4.5 by 4.5 inches, which is around 115 mil by 115 mil. I'll plane it down to 3.5 inches by 3.5, be around 90 by 90 mil.
I've just laid them up roughly and I decided on an angle for around 73 down here. I've got the bottom part cut and now I'm going to cut the top part. The top part here is going to be horizontal. Now I could just cut them off right here. That would be fairly easy. But I do want to cut that's sort of like a 45 degrees cut, and I'll show you how to do that now. I've got my angle and I just need to cut it, and I'm going to use a stop like this. Then I have the exact same length on all the pieces. The two sides are cut and it fits pretty good. Now this is the same bevel. I'm ready to assemble the two sides and I'm just going to glue them and put a few screws in like this. I'll probably put 2 in. I'll put the drill bit on an angle. It's perfect.
Now I need to place the height of the seat, and it will be 445 millimeters, which is around 17 inches. I'll take the bevel at the bottom and simply just copy it up to my markings. I'll make a line, and this line is where it's completely level, but I want it to tilt back around 3 degrees, so you sort of fall back into the seat. To do this, I'll use one of these. Now the degrees on this line are 73 degrees, but I'm gonna add 3 extra degrees, so I'll move it to 76 degrees. With the same starting point, I'm making a new line.
And I'm gonna transfer this line to the opposite side, this. And here we've got the top on the back leg. Now I've got my 2 lines. This is the thickness of the board that I'm putting in. Line it up, make your markings, and here you've got the bottom part. Take your bevel, make sure it's the right line, and now we'll cut the first piece. Now let's see if it fits. If someone would go like this. Of course I've tried it before I filmed it, so I know it fits. There you go. Now I need to decide the depth of the seat, and I've decided on 40.5 centimeters, which is about 15.5 inches. It's a little less than normal, but my family is closely related to the Hobbit, so I think this should be okay. Now the back part here, I'm gonna tilt out an extra 10 degrees. So instead of 90, it'll be 100 degrees this way out. Got the back post for both sides. It's about 58 centimeters and a bit over 22 inches. And we'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Decided to put one of these in underneath the seating planks for the best support. This is actually the offcuts from this rebate right here. So I'm just gonna secure this with a few screws and some glue once I've got it lined up here. So this will be my setup. I've got 4 planks to sit on, and these two I'm gonna screw these together and make a rounding out here. I'm just gonna secure these two together with pocket holes this way. I just used some offcuts to lay everything out, and I'm ending up with 1.5 millimeters gap between all the boards. I think I'll make a rounding on all the boards like this instead of keeping them square. I think it looks better. Now I just need to cut them all in length. These bottom parts, the seating parts, are the long ones and these are the short ones. And then I'll probably make a dry assembly to see if everything fits. All the boards I'll screw in from behind, so there will be no visible screws from the front. Always save your offcuts so you can make your wooden plugs from that. And that way it's going to be very difficult to tell where the plugs are because the grains are pretty much the same. You do put the plugs in, don't put them in like this. It just looks stupid. Put them in so the grain will follow the grain on the wood as well. There you go. And we'll take the excess wood off with a chisel tomorrow. All the boards are sanded and I'll give it some teak oil meant for outdoor furniture, and the color is teak, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm giving it oil now because if it was assembled I couldn't get the oil in to every single space. So before the assembly, give it a good oil. I'll probably give it 2 coats. Surface treatment is all done and I'll start the assembly. I'll start with the bottom part here for the seat and then the top part. First I'll screw in the pocket hole screws, both sides, and then this one here. Mounted the first part and now I'll continue with the back side. Make sure everything is flush before you screw it in. And now we just need the seat.